What do you think really happens after death? I think we might be in hell already. Can't remember the last truly happy person I met. Nothing but work, no time for fun or friends, no money to do anything, go to work, come home, sleep. Repeat. No adventure, no excitement, most people end divorced. Hell? Maybe. You're on your deathbed, breathing only with the help of a machine. Your entire family is there, most of them with tears on their faces. The only sound in the entire room is the beeps and chirps of the machinery keeping you alive. You've lived a fulfilling life. You had a few kids, grandkids, and even some great-grandkids. You scratched off everything on your bucket list. You even won the lottery one time, using only enough money to pay off your house, then giving the rest to a local charity. You're holding the hand of your eldest grandchild, whom you've always favored. You feel your eyes get heavy, and your heart beats slow. You know it's time to go. Slowly, you close your eyes, and loosen your grip on your grandchild's hand. You hear gasps from various family members. They must know it's your time as well. Everything fades away, until the only sensation is the black silence that is death. But suddenly, you feel something. A cool breeze. And a feeling as if you were driving on a bumpy road. Slowly, you open your eyes to hear. Hey, you're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border? Walked right into an imperial ambush, like us, and that thief over there. I'll finally get to sleep. My goal is being the richest guy on the graveyard. To quote the late, great Norm Macdonald, you are found. I'm a spiritual Esquire person, and while I can admit that we're hairless apes wandering around a ball of dirt and minerals and water listening to our hormones and brain chemicals responding to stimuli, I have to think there's more. I just think that there's something about this level of consciousness that has to keep on going. I don't think there's gonna be pearly gates, or fire and brimstone, or just a void of nothing. I think that there's a place for this higher energy, this mind behind the muscles and skeleton and nerves. I just hope it's interesting. Imagine consciousness as pool of energy. Everything in this universe is energy. It was proven a century ago. Imagine brain like a radio receiver. When a brain is fully developed, it starts drawing this energy and makes us aware. And when brain becomes incapable of sustaining this energy, it leaves the body and joins the universal pool of consciousness where it belongs. We are all one consciousness having different experiences. That's why all the religion says that God is everywhere. God is in each one of us. It's just another way of saying that we're all one. Spectate mode. I lose consciences and the world will use my ashes to feed the ecosystem. I don't believe in life after death, but I do know that energy I had will go into something else. Something will feed on me and grow, etc. Even if it's a fly, a weed, anything else, I know that things will feed something else, and that brings me comfort. I'll be forgotten within a decade or so and life will continue. Nothing new or nothing scary. However, the pictures of me, they will be somewhere on the web just like every other dead person with social media page, which is the weird part. We go to sleep for a while. Here's a theory: when you die, your consciousness is released from the bounds of your three-dimensional body and time, in return experiencing multidimensionally, aka experiencing everything instantly, always, all the time, forever and always. Just blackness. You know. Once you go black, you never go back. Victory hand. We see the words game over and wake up in an arcade somewhere. Reincarnate in an endless cycle of energy harvesting by the Archons. Unless we avoid the light to escape this matrix system and return to the source. Rolf, hi, you're finally awake. I have scrolled too far for there to be zero mentions of Doug Fawcett. What the fork, man? The relatives arrive and go poking through my stuff. The people who loved you will miss you. Whatever was happening before you were born. I don't believe in souls. You are your body, and once that process is over, so are you. Roll end credits. You know those times when you're sleeping and don't have a dream, just like, you sleep is pitch black and you woke up? Well, Exactly that, but you don't wake up. I believe souls are the light energy force we all have. I believe no matter how conventionally good or evil a person is in life, their soul goes somewhere to assess choices made in this life. Long story short, I believe in reincarnation of souls. There is a process of growth, and this planet is a testing ground for souls to mature and grow. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You just turn into worm food. Which actually is quite comforting to me. Finally, after I die, I will truly be one with the earth. You lose consciousness forever. The simulation ends, they record the results, the admins apply the latest patches and security updates, and they reboot the system. Decay. Literally nothing. But I like to think that in that shock reaction, shutting down process when your brain is suddenly overwhelmed with a massive pump of endorphins and DMT, you think you go on a magical journey. It may be the last minutes or seconds of your brain receiving enough oxygen, but to you it stays, or weeks, or an unknowable eternity of psychedelia, everything you ever knew or thought or imagined flooding back for a curtain call, to infinity and beyond the cosmic fold, an explosion of color and light and fear and joy, the internal overseers of your conscious mind welcoming you back to the void with open arms. That's what I hope anywho. It's a simulation. Decomposition. Nothing. Just like before you were born. I think it's just like going to sleep, except you never wake back up. Every night, I go to sleep and wake up the next morning. Occasionally I remember a dream or two, but mostly, nothing. Clock says 11 p.m. Close eyes. Open eyes. Clock says 6 a.m. My good friend's dad had a major heart attack when I was a boy, and he was technically dead for several minutes. Many years afterwards, he described the experience like going to sleep. I mean, there was the pain of the initial heart attack, but as he started to pass away, he remembered one of the paramedics shouting, "We're losing him," then, nothing. Until he woke up later in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. I think the top comment about "that's a dead me problem when the time comes" is the best I've heard on here, but when the time does come, I don't think it'll be too much to worry about, honestly. What was life like before you were born? That's what awaits you after. Didn't I hear something about DMT being released into your brain after death? I've been looking forward to that but have seen no mention of it in this thread. My theory comes from a few ideas I've toyed around with for the past few years. 1. Is the realization that time is up to perception. Figured this one out after having a few fainting spells when I was around 12, and during one of those 10 seconds brain outages, I experienced a perfectly real feeling dream that was about 7 hours long. I just woke up, went to a normal day at school, the bell rang, and then I opened my eyes back in this reality and someone asked if I was okay. 2. No one really knows what consciousness is, but we do know that we couldn't think before we were born, so why would we be able to after? We also know that matter/energy can never be created nor destroyed, so there is also no reason to believe that your consciousness couldn't resurface again, since this theoretically means the universe and time is infinite. 3. Your brain cannot comprehend or imagine non-existence because doing so literally requires existing. So we have to take all of our theories on this subject with a big grain of salt. 4. We are also limited in perception of the universe by our own senses. As in, if there are hundreds of other dimensions, which I believe is almost impossible not to be true, unless they have an effect on a dimension/sense we can observe and measure and then convert to a number on a screen, we will never be able to know they exist. 5. This is the most important to me. Time is an illusion, it is simply a way for our brains to comprehend and quantify atoms as they move around space. Time is officially ended, non-existent, or at least, it's just a part of space. So what happens after you die? I used to theorize that your perception of time could just slow down for infinity, and that as you are dying your brain dreams up new lives and universes or replays your old ones on loop forever. Displayed mathematically as an exponential decay equation where your perception of how fast time is the y-axis and the actual length of time it takes for your brain to shut down is the x. Obviously, if you've ever taken a middle school math class, you know this equation will never reach zero or negative numbers, just get smaller forever. Now though, I believe you simply cease to exist, and an infinite later, you will come back as a new life form. It's only a perceived infinite though, because all it is waiting for space to arrange the right combination of atoms, whatever that new combination may be. To us it would be instantaneous, but also not, since we wouldn't remember ever existing before. The world carries on. I'm a Christian. I think everybody knows what I believe then. Fall asleep, I wake up as an apparition, I sink infinitely far down, I meet the 7 deadly sins, we play Texas Hold'em for the rest of eternity, become the 8th deadly sin, stupidity.